Welcome back to At the End of the Day, a little podcast that I do at the end of my work day. I'm Dr. Cameo Carter. I'm a board certified pediatrician, and at the end of the day, I look through my schedule and think about the patients that I saw. It's a good way for me to wind down. It's easy to carry the weight and the experience, the energy that I'm expending all day long. And I'm finding this is a good way for me to kind of process the stories of the different patient experiences that I'm working through each day with my families. And so today, as I look through the schedule, thinking about a lot of the visits that I'm seeing at the beginning of the school year, as well as at the end of the school year, deal with adjustment concerns, behavioral challenges, and I get a lot more concentration of ADHD concerns at the beginning, at the end of the year. And I'm always really happy to walk through this with families and make sure that we're getting a proper evaluation, evaluating kids thoroughly, and looking at all the factors that are contributing to these symptoms. And once we get a diagnosis, talking about all the ways that we can help that kid be wholly who they are. And with a diagnosis of ADHD, we have really good studies and information about the best ways to treat. And I think it's really important to make sure we're asking several questions when we determine what kind of treatment is helpful for a child with ADHD. And I think the first thing to ask is this diagnosis affecting their ability to achieve everything that they should be able to? Also asking, is this diagnosis affecting their relationships with others, be it peers, teachers, family members? Is it affecting their sense of self? So are you hearing more statements like, I'm not smart enough, I just can't do it, I'm not capable, I'm a bad kid? And when we have a diagnosis of ADHD and any of these things are being affected, that child deserves us approaching treatment really fully and wholly. And again, we have a lot of literature looking at what is the most effective treatment. And it's a combination of things. And right now there's a real strong emphasis on diet and exercise. And I agree that is really important. And it's an important thing that we need to focus on for kids. And it's helpful for all of us to make sure that our diet is consisting of whole foods, that we're balancing out the foods we eat. We've all felt like a little bit low in blood sugar, haven't eaten for a while. It is really hard to focus and concentrate if you are super hungry or if your blood sugar has dropped. And so kids with ADHD are going to be really susceptible to that. And so looking at how often they're eating, what their diet consists of, are we making sure that there's protein in the diet to help keep that blood sugar stable? Those are absolutely important for all children, for all humans, in particular for ADHD kids, to have that included in our approach is really important. And exercise is important too. The outdoors and running and playing are so important. Letting our mind wander and explore as we're outside, that is so important for kids. Play is so important for kids. And so absolutely encouraging that and making more opportunity for that is significant. And looking at when they're doing activities, the timing of it is important too, and what kind of activities they are. So things that are involving exertion, things that involve proprioception, gravity, carrying heavy things, things that give sensory input, that's really important and helpful. And thinking about including activities as part of our transition between school and home, for instance, can be really helpful at helping kids regulate. But that isn't treatment. That is all helpful. And in the cases where if we're incorporating that and having ADHD is not causing our kid to not achieve everything they should be, and it's not causing there to be a disruption in relationships with others, and it's not causing there to be problems with relationships, then in that case, the diet and exercise and behavioral strategies are great. But that's not always enough, and it often isn't enough to do treatment for ADHD. And research, multiple studies, has shown that doing a combination of medication and specific therapy, occupational therapy, that's helping with emotional regulation, sensory integration, executive functioning, combining those things together, OT and medication, is what is really treatment for ADHD. And something that I've seen in my career is just our knowledge about how important brain plasticity is and how important it is for kids to be able to have early intervention so that they're developing new neuronal pathways. This is helping them adapt and learn, and not that the ADHD goes away, but they are able to develop better coping skills and strategies to help them with that. And so I think it's really important that if you have a child with ADHD, that you're looking at whatever opportunity you can find to get on it. So if they have this diagnosis, to be able to say, okay, what is everything that we can do? Diet, exercise, therapies, and medication too. And be sure to talk about that with your doctor, because we have so many options, and treatment isn't like, we fear with medicine. And understand that your doctor really cares about preserving the magic that your child is. That this isn't just to mask or cover up something. Your child, if they have ADHD, is already going to have a steep mountain to climb. It's already going to be harder to be able to learn and complete the tasks that they need to do. And by doing the full treatment, we're able to lighten that load a little bit. Still is tough work, and they still have a lot of habits and different things that they'll have to integrate. But making it be so they can focus long enough to learn those different strategies is really an important, and just like it's a gift that we can give our kids by finding everything that we can to help them. And so talking with your pediatrician, with your doctor about different medication options and what side effects might look like, and how do you know it's the right medicine? How do you know it's the right dosage? How do you know if you're dosing too much? Have those discussions, even if you don't want to try medicine right away. when I have a parent come in and are like, hey, first of all, we're not going to do medicine. We're kind of fearful of the diagnosis because we don't really even want to try medicine. I don't think it allows us to have the entire conversation. And that whole conversation of saying, how, we have this diagnosis, what does that mean? How can we help them? Here are all the options. It can really help you establish that path forward. And then you can be making different decisions when you come to a fork in the road of saying, okay, and then if this happens, we want to go that direction. But already coming in and just saying, I'm not even going to explore different things that we know can be helpful is kind of limiting to your child. So I really, most families, we really have these wonderful, wonderful conversations about that whole scope of treatment. And it's not a one size fits all, because no one child is the same as the child next to them. And understand that pediatricians, again, our goal is for each child to be wholly who they are. And there's lots of ways that we can help them as they learn and grow and develop. So at the end of the day, still early on in the school year, having had several of these appointments today where we're approaching new diagnoses and new opportunities and new treatment options, I'm really grateful for the parents that I get to partner with as we help change trajectories and courses for their children to help them be happy and well-adjusted and be able to experience their childhood really fully. And I'm grateful for that opportunity. If you're struggling with any kind of diagnosis that is in that neurodivergent sphere, make sure to talk to your doctor about it, because we're really delighted to be able to lay out for you different opportunities and different approaches and have that discussion. Thanks for joining me, and let's visit again tomorrow as I review my day spent as a pediatrician.